Hello, this is Joseph from Gorilla 3D. In this screencast, we're going over a little introduction with Ajax. Now, what is Ajax? Ajax is basically something a browser does and calls to your server without you really having to refresh the page. So you can take data from your server back to your HTML page and feed whatever information you need to it. To get started, I am going to use my own little function I made. The reason why I'm not going to use pure XML, HTTP, JavaScript stuff is because it's kind of not really complex, but it's really unneeded to learn. The whole focus of this is to learn the concept of what Ajax is and what can it provide with you. So the first thing we're going to do is make a script tag. And we're going to give this script tag a type of text/JavaScript, and within this we are going to dump my function. You can get my function script, or at least my text, whatever. It is about 20 lines of code, and I'll be on my YouTube channel. And that's pretty much it. That's the whole function I need for, at least JavaScript wise, for grabbing data from the net. But in this case, we're grabbing it from another page. Alright, so let's go ahead and make a little menu here. Let's put this within a div. Actually, let's put this within a UL, an unordered list. And let's go ahead and give our first little list here. And let's say that this will be home. And put this within an A tag. An anchor tag. And duplicate us, so make sure we put something to stop the page from actually trying to refresh itself. We're going to call this portfolio, and we're going to call this one links. So we'll go ahead and save this and start to view it. It should just give us a simple list of items. Alright, now what we're going to do throughout this tutorial is actually have, when we click on these items, it will load that page, but not refreshing our browser, but actually grabbing it from the back, something you won't be able to see, and serving it to you. So we're going to go ahead and create another thing here, an actual div this time. Give this div an ID, so ID equals, and we're going to call this content, and in here we're going to say content here. Pretty simple. So again, we can see our progress, and now we have content here with our links. Now we're going to actually do some JavaScript stuff here. On our home, we're going to say on click and run the function. So let's go ahead and say the function that I use within this example is called Ajax. And the way that this works is I type Ajax, I type the URL I want, and in this case it's actually just going to be a regular HTML page. It doesn't have to be PHP, it doesn't have to be Ruby, Python. HTML is perfectly fine. So I'm going to be calling home.html, and I have another parameter here for my Ajax saying what happens after we load this page in the background, and I give a few options. So on complete, so when the page is loaded, we are going to give a function. Now we're going to define this function actually within our script right here. So we're going to say function, and the function name is going to be simply load page, and within this we're going to be result. This is actually what's passed back to your function after we've loaded the page in the back. And the result is basically the HTML. So we're going to do document dot get element by ID. And then we're going to give the ID content, since that's what we actually use for our div tag. And we're going to say the inner HTML for this is actually the result. And that's it. So now we're going to go back to our Ajax function with the parameters and say that onComplete is going to be result. And what we do for now is actually load that for the rest of the links here. So we say portfolio, links, and we're just going to say port and link for our other pages. Alright, now to actually see some action. Now if you're using Firefox, one thing that would be very helpful is installing Firebug. If you don't know what Firebug is, I'll have a link on the side. But basically, it's a great JavaScript tool and Ajax tool. So go ahead and just click the checkbox to open up the Firebug and click the console. Now when you click on the link, it says result is not found or not defined. Okay, so apparently I did not actually do the correct function, which is called load page and not results. Go ahead and change that. Just got to refresh this page. Now if we click on home, it's going to try to grab our home HTML page, which we obviously don't have, so it gives us a 404, which meaning it's not there. So let's go ahead and create a 404, or not a 404, but an actual home. We can delete all this stuff in here since it's not going to be an actual whole page, but just part of a page. So I'm going to say this is my home. Go ahead and save this. I'm going to save this as home.html. Now if we go ahead and go back to our page here, refresh it. Actually, we didn't need a refresh, but you can click on home and it says this is my home. So it took the content from our home page, and if you're using Firebug, you can expand the console here, and it gives the response, which is basically the HTML that's within the home.html. And it replaces it with our content here. So our div got replaced with our content. And again, if we do that with portfolio, it's going to give us a 404, and with the link, it's going to give us a 404 as well. So we can go ahead and create those as well. New HTML. And I can go ahead and just give some HTML stuff here. A strong tag. Save this as port.html. Create one more. New HTML. And just go ahead and just create an anchor tag here. And name this as link.html, as we did in our previous page. So now we don't have to actually refresh this page, we can actually just click on it now and it should give us our HTML pages. And as you can see down here is actually showing us all the requests we're doing in the background. So now you can actually make a website that loads your content dynamically without actually refreshing your page. Now obviously this is a nice replacement for something like iframes, but you have to really consider what you're actually doing. And if you're using this and you want to have good search ranking results in something like Google, this isn't the best method to use. But obviously it's a very easy method. So if you want to have essential, I don't know, like layouts without actually having to edit multiple files for, let's say that you have the same menu, this is one method to use a template with. Most browsers support this, and in general it's a good habit to learn because you will be doing certain things with Ajax that just are becoming a standard now. I hope you've enjoyed this screencast and have fun using Ajax.